Now 4:30 on WKYT this morning, after a Richmond police officer was injured in the line of duty yesterday, a lot of concern continuing this morning.
Police say they've made an arrest after a series of burglaries that have occurred in Knox County schools. Well, we've got the details ahead.
And another threatening message found at a Lincoln County school yesterday, but school officials this time say classes will remain open today. We'll have more on that decision coming up.
This is WKYT This Morning.
Good morning from WKYT News and welcome in on this Thursday. I'm Bill Bryant.
And I'm Rebecca Smith. Let's get a check of what's happening in the weather department. Micah, yesterday was lovely.
Unbelievable. And we're going to do it all over again today. We have the clouds overhead and it looks like this is going to hold tight throughout the rest of the day. In towards your afternoon, mixture of sun and clouds, much like what we have seen the past couple of days and what we felt. Basically what we're going to go through today. Check out these temperatures this morning. We're at 64 degrees right now over in eastern Kentucky. It's an amazing feel for this time of year during the morning hours. You usually don't see that, and you definitely don't see this. 75, another nice one in store. I'll show you what happens tomorrow because that's when things start to change. I'll have that in just about 10 minutes.
We'll see you then, Micah. We thank you. In the news, the community still in shock this morning after a Richmond police officer was injured after being shot in the line of duty. This morning, 33-year-old Officer Daniel Ellis is still fighting for his life at UK Hospital. And police say he is a 7-year veteran of the Richmond Police Department.
Now, this started when Officer Ellis and another officer were called out to an apartment on Ballard Drive while investigating an attempted robbery at a gas station. They say Greg Ratliff opened the door to that apartment and let both officers inside. Ratliff told them he was the only one inside the apartment, but when Officer Ellis walked into a back bedroom, 34-year-old Raleigh Sizemore shot him in the head. In an exclusive interview with Ratliff from the Madison County Detention Center, he said he lied to the officers because he was afraid of Sizemore.
I just didn't want nothing to do with it.
So there is a reason why you said that there was no one in the home.
After Officer Ellis was shot, police say the second officer then shot Sizemore. Both Sizemore and Ellis were rushed to UK Hospital. Once released, Sizemore was charged with attempted murder of a police officer and unlawful imprisonment. As for Ratliff, police say he is charged with complicity to commit attempted murder of a police officer. Police say a third person, Rita Creech, was also inside the apartment when the shooting happened. They say she is charged with robbery.
And as we mentioned, members of the community are still in shock this morning over all of that. Hundreds of people gathered last night as multiple prayer services were held to show support for Officer Ellis. Folks not only showed up to support, but also to try to strengthen and comfort one another with hugs and prayers. And those who came out wanted to remind everyone that their community stands by its law enforcement.
For these officers, for our community in general. We're here and we're together, and this is one time that we're going to be community.
As another way of showing support for Officer Ellis, the Richmond Police Department honored their fellow officer by lighting up his cruiser during last night's service. For those who could not make it to Richmond for prayer services last night, many others also showed support for Officer Ellis. A family left this handwritten message outside UK Hospital that said, quote, "Praying for you and your family. Your life matters."
Well, the attempted robbery Officer Ellis was investigating happened at a Gulf gas station in Richmond. Part of the crime was captured on surveillance cameras. A gas station manager says that a customer walked out of her car. A van pulled up to her. She says a man jumped out of the van and tried to rob her at gunpoint. A vehicle description from the video is what led police to that apartment on Ballard Drive.
It's heart-wrenching because one of our officers have gotten shot. To think that it was what connected to what happened here. We know just about all of them because they all come here. We supply fuel for the city.
Police say the customer fought back. The suspect fled without getting anything. For continuing coverage of this story, you can find the latest updates at WKYT.com.
The time this morning is coming up on 4:35, and this morning transportation officials are hoping to have an eastern Kentucky road cleared after a rock slide blocked it. US 460 in the Millard community of Pike County is completely blocked after the rock slide covered the roadway yesterday afternoon. Thankfully, no one was injured in that. Officials say they will return this morning to clear out the debris, and they hope to have at least one lane of the road open as soon as possible.
This morning, police are still investigating a deadly crash that shut down a Lexington road. It happened just after 6:30 last night along Johnston Road between Paris Pike and Bryan Station. Lexington police say a car crashed into a tree after going off-road and overcorrecting. The coroner's office says that the driver, a 47-year-old man, was pronounced dead at the scene. His name has still not been released. Police say the driver was the only person in the car. Johnston Road was temporarily shut down but is reopened this morning.
Friends of a Garrard County teenager are still mourning after he died in a forklift accident. Investigators say 17-year-old Grant Oakley died Tuesday when he fell off of a forklift and was run over at Bluegrass Agriculture Distributors. He had just started working there. Yesterday, Oakley's friends at Garrard County High School wore camouflage to honor his death.
He's just an all-around great guy, a guy that would always come to you on the road if you needed help, always had everybody laughing.
The Kentucky Labor Cabinet is currently investigating what it calls a potential safety violation. They say it is illegal for someone under the age of 18 to operate a forklift.
A Knox County teenager is behind bars this morning after a series of burglaries at schools. Police charged 18-year-old Sean Messer with burglary and criminal mischief. Police say he stole money and tablet computers from Lynn Camp Elementary and high schools. They say they've since recovered some of those items. Police say more arrests are possible in the case.
Lincoln County School officials say another threatening message has been found there. The principal of Lincoln County Middle School says the message was found yesterday in a girls' restroom. The message said, quote, "Kill everybody, 11-5-15. School officials say they discussed the message with police and have decided to keep the school open today. Many parents voiced concerns about the school remaining open, but school officials say they believe the threat is a copycat of other recent school threats. As a precaution, they say there will be a police presence at the school throughout the day.
A Bullitt County teacher charged with dragging a student down a hallway has been acquitted. Ashley Silas was fired in November of last year after security footage caught her dragging a first grader by the arm. She was reinstated after a panel decided she should keep her job but attend mentoring sessions, I should say. She had been charged with misdemeanor assault. A Laurel County man is in jail this morning after police say he abused two children during a fight. Police say 37-year-old Billy Spencer got into a fight with his wife in London. When their daughter and son intervened, the little boy stepped in to protect his mom, and then the girl stepped in to help her brother. Police say both children were choked, and the boy was bitten during the fight. Spencer is charged with 2 counts of child abuse.
A decision to close more than a dozen Target stores nationwide will affect a store here in Kentucky. The Dixie Highway Target in Louisville will close by the end of January. That's according to Target spokespersons. Certain employees will be given the chance to move to another of Target's nearly 1,800 stores. The spokesperson says the decision was, quote, not made lightly and was a result of years of slow sales.
If you're looking to get the flu mist instead of a flu shot to protect you or your children this winter, you may be actually out of luck. Some pediatricians' offices in the area report a shortage for flu mist. Fayette County Health Department officials say their supplier told them a few weeks ago that their flu mist order would be decreased. They say another shipment will not be arriving until late November or early December because a supplier replaced some of the flu strains used in the flu mist, and that's what's caused the delay.
Both Kentucky Republicans and Democrats are looking ahead after Wednesday's election results came in, and it showed the GOP won most of the statewide offices, including governor. Yesterday, Governor-elect Matt Bevin said he was celebrating the victory by spending time with his family. Along with the governor's seat, Republicans also control the state Senate, and they're now focused on winning control of the state House next year. But Democrats are trying to regroup.
I hope that Governor-elect Bevin steps back a little bit and rethinks that course. If we're going to solve these problems, we're going to have to do it in a bipartisan manner.
I've always told Speaker Stumbo, as he sits in the tunnel, he thinks that's a light at the end. It's not. It's really the train coming at him.
Governor-elect Bevin and Lieutenant Governor-elect Janine Hampton will be inaugurated on December 8th in Frankfort.
A Kentucky native was a huge hit at last night's Country Music Awards. Johnson County native Chris Stapleton stole the show while performing with Justin Timberlake at the CMAs. Stapleton's duo with Timberlake was also a big hit on social media. Along with his one-of-a-kind performance, Stapleton also picked up the Best New Artist Award of the year. His first debut solo album, Traveler, won Album of the Year. He also took home Male Vocalist of the Year.
All right, doing Kentucky proud there at the awards last night. Time this morning is 4:40. It's 20 before 5, and WKYT this morning is just getting started.
Being a stay-at-home parent is a full-time job and isn't just for mothers. Moms Every Day sits down with one stay-at-home dad when we return.
And it's the temperatures again that we're going to be talking about, but then we head toward tomorrow, and that's where you start to see those changes. I'll have all that coming up next.